What's up guys, your Doomsday here. Today we're back again, and in this video we're going to be playing some Rengar in the jungle. So a lot of people asked me to play Rengar, so I thought I'd finally give it a shot for y'all, and boy, I will tell y'all, Rengar is such a strong champion, especially once you learn how to play him. He definitely is one of the harder champs to learn. The learning curve on him is definitely like way steeper than a lot of other junglers, but Rengar is just such a versatile pick, and especially once you actually learn how to engage, how to master him, how to use your abilities right, he could be such a menace to go against. And we'll see. For this game, there's a couple different builds you can go on Rengar. So I've played Rengar in the past, but like this is a pretty long time ago when I played Rengar. It has been a while since I've actually played him again. But there used to be a build with shoot, what was the build? I think it was Trinity Force and it was Trinity Force and Divine Sunder. It was right after Divine Sunder came out, but unfortunately the Jinx already gets first blood. But yeah, so there used to be that build, which was kind of a tank Rengar build actually. And the thing about like that build is, one, you're super tanky, because you're Rengar, you still dish out quite a crazy amount of damage. Plus, with all like the health regen you can get from your second ability, it made it very, very hard to kill Rengar. But another build you can go is a crit Rengar build, and that is what I'm going to be going in this match. And really the main difference that I noticed between the two builds is crit Rengar definitely takes a little bit of time to get turned on. You definitely need some items before you can kind of like hard carry your team. But once you do get those items, you can completely one burst pretty much anybody as long as you engage right. And we will see that in this match for sure. But now I see this Graves is going for this Scuttle over here. And for Scuttles, I highly recommend this bush over here is so broken for Rengar in the early game. So I'm able to get a good root down, and I'm waiting for his flash. I know he still has flash up, so I just follow flash and get the little kill there. And then I head back towards the Scuttle. So, gonna finish taking this and then go ahead and farm up to level 5. Because pre-level 5, it is pretty hard to fight around with Rengar, especially if you don't have bushes around. So that bush in the river is actually so crucial. And I actually made a little bit of a mistake here. I just have the normal ward. I would highly recommend going at least pink ward or sweeper, because you definitely want to know if the enemy has vision inside of that bush or not. Because for instance, if they have vision inside of that bush, that's the bush that you're probably going to be using for like most scuttle fights and stuff anyways, if you are fighting around that river area. If they have vision inside of there and you aren't able to clear it and you don't know that they can see you, they can completely just screw you over in the early game. So that's something I keep an eye out for. But now I'm level 5, so I'm looking for a good opportunity somewhere. If I see any big skirmishes happening, I could for sure just ult over. And another tip for ganking with Rengar is, if you are ganking the side lanes, something that you could do is use the bushes on the bottom side of the map. Because, for instance, if you're coming from the river like this without ult, it's very hard to get a gank onto, for instance, the duo lane. But if you can sneak down to the very bottom of the map and use those 2-3 bushes that are along the side over there, you can get some pretty good engages and leaps and stuff. So now I'm just farming up until I see a good opportunity show up. Keep an eye out on these lanes over here. Everybody's mostly just resetting now, so I'm just playing it slowly. And that's something that I do really want to emphasize with Rengar is kills add up over time. In the early game, you might not be getting double, triple kills all the time, but if you get one kill after another and over there, I see they get a good Malphite ult, they're able to pick up the Jinx, and now I'm on the way over here. So, seeing if I can catch this Graves out somewhere. I see he's going along the river, and I'm trying to ping Ahri. If Ahri can land a charm or start up an engage. Trying to see this. I'm hoping Ahri can land a charm. Unfortunately, Ahri doesn't even throw out the charm. They throw it out a bit late, but unfortunately not able to pick up that kill there, and now they're kind of re-engaging. So, I try and get back onto this Graves over here. Almost able to get him down, and we're able to pick him up, which is good. But now that Jinx is coming, and I am on the run, and I accidentally auto him. I did not mean to do that. It's just force of habit from playing other champs. I sometimes just spam the auto attack button, because that way if anybody walks into the range, I attack them. But with Rengar, you definitely do have to be a bit more careful of that. As I said, it had been a while since I've last played Rengar, but definitely can't be doing that in Rengar, or else that will happen to you if you walk into a bush and somebody's in that range. Yeah, that's a bit unfortunate, but we're still able to pick up a couple kills, so pretty good. But as I was saying, with Rengar, don't stress about getting like double kills, triple kills in the early game, because it's very hard to do. You'd have to be a very good Rengar player, very consistent to be able to do that in every single game. But if you can slowly pick up one kill at a time with your ult, eventually it will add up. And we'll kind of see that throughout this game. Is like, I don't get many crazy plays in the early game. They're all like small picks like that, as we see like slowly picking up kill one by one, but eventually it'll add up, and we'll see how it turns out at the end of this match. But now I see they're along the river over here. I see Ahri's over here. I see the charm get landed, so now I decide to follow up with an engage and go onto this cannon. I'm able to root him, so able to get the follow-up, and that's a kill over there. Unfortunately, I don't pick up the kill, but that's okay. At least our mid laner got it. So now we're able to pick up the Akali too, so now can take this Herald for free. Should be able to get it. And yep. Overall, the map's looking pretty good. We just got a kill in the duo lane too. Should be able to pick up this Herald, so now I can get this and then look to reset for the dragon. And now I have my first item. I'm working towards my second item. And once you get to about your third item with this Rengar build, that's when it starts to become super strong. Like once you get 3 items, you can completely just one burst people. So I'm just trying to keep on farming up. I'm not forcing anything. I don't have my ult up, so kind of playing a bit slow right now until it comes back off cooldown, and keep an eye out on these dragons over here, making sure our duo lane doesn't get caught out before the dragon shows up, or before the dragon fight starts, I guess. And Akali actually just showed up over there. That kind of caught me off guard. They got really lucky with their timing. If they would have came a second like earlier, I would have been able to probably kill them there. But now I see that my duo lane's resetting. I see that they're kind of heading towards the dragon. I know I can't really do anything about it by myself until the duo lane gets back, so I just farm up this wave, get a little bit of gold while I wait. And now that my mid lane's moving over, my duo lane's on their way back, I start to head back. I'm pretty sure they're starting this up, or at least they're gathering around it, so keeping a good eye out. Gotta watch out for warding. That's definitely a bit of an issue right now, but just getting some poke damage over there. Able to chunk down that Akali almost halfway. Just getting healing fruit, and then looking for a pick. Honestly, this is not bad right now. I'm kind of letting my carries do their job. I'm waiting for Ahri mostly. Yeah, as you see, I try and follow up with Ahri. We're able to pick up the Akali over here. There's Kennen. I flash out so I don't get destroyed by his ultimate. And now I dip out. I see Soraka over here and try to see if I can engage onto him. Let's see if I can get onto the Soraka. Does not look like I even need to. Teammates able to clean that up. But now should be able to pick up the dragon over here. And overall, that was pretty good engage. So in that case, it was pretty hard for me to engage by myself, because if I engage by myself and my teammates don't follow up, you're probably going to get deleted at this stage of the game just because you don't have any tankiness or anything. There's like nothing for sustain unless you like time your second ability perfectly. So really in that case, I don't think it's a bad thing to essentially wait around, wait to see if your Ahri can land a charm. If your Ahri can land a charm, for instance, that's a really good engage tool. That's something that a lot of tanks don't realize, because I play mostly tanks if you follow my channel. I play a lot of tanks like Wukong or Xin Zhao, Jarvan, and one of the biggest mistakes I see a lot of tanks make is they feel like they always have to be the one to start up everything. And in some cases, if you see the angle, go for it. But now I'm just trying to see if I can get a good engage and make a small mistake over here. I'll talk about it in a second, but look at my cooldowns. They just came off cooldown. And if you watch that again, I'll explain more in a second. But as I was saying, a lot of tanks, they make the mistakes. Unfortunately, I go down. They're all so low. That Soraka just hard carried them through that. They got so many heals through that. That was actually absurd. But yeah, a lot of tanks, they just don't play around their carries, and that's a big mistake a lot of tanks make. And then they'll engage by themselves and die and then blame their carries, but not always the carry's fault. Sometimes it's the tank's fault for not knowing how to play around your teammates and what your teammates have and what abilities they have. But in that case, one of the mistakes I made, so essentially what I did there was I engaged, I dealt a burst damage, and then I left the fight and I went back to the bush. And then I re-engaged again. But the mistake that I made, the reason why I essentially died was because after I used my first set of abilities, after I got off my first combo, when I went back to the bush, I actually didn't wait long, or I should have waited longer before re-engaging. And the reason for that is because I just used my entire combo. I just used my first ability, my second ability, and my third ability, and then an empowered ability. So all that is still on cooldown for like 5-6 seconds. So the fact that I ran to the bush and then instantly re-engaged, I realized once I re-engaged that I didn't even have my abilities off cooldown, so I wasn't able to get off another empowered like ability, and that kind of screwed me over back there. But over there, I'm able to get a good pickup on the Graves, and I somehow have 8 assists as a Rengar. Wish I had more kills, but that's okay. Still getting gold slowly but surely, getting up there, adding them up one by one. And before I went out for the Graves, I don't know if you noticed, but I checked the scoreboard, and the reason for that is because if you're going for like a one-on-one like that, I highly recommend looking at what items somebody has, if they have, for instance, like stasis, or like if they have some sort of enchant or something. But trying to get away from the Shinx, seeing if I can get somebody. I'm trying to get the Soraka. They're one shot, but unfortunately I have to dip out. Was not able to pick that up. Not enough damage yet. I finally get my ults back off cooldown, so now I can look to re-engage. Now that I have my ults, able to get the Graves again, and overall looking pretty good. As you can see, we're slowly getting up kills and assists one by one. As you can see, there hasn't been anything like super flashy, like no like triple kills, no like an absolutely insane plays. Really just playing around your cooldowns, playing around your ult, playing around when you see a good opportunity or not. Looking for picks on carries. Overall pretty good, but it looks like we're gonna get the second tier mid turret. That's a good start to the game. Up on turrets. We have turrets in most of the lanes. We have the top 2 turrets also. So looking pretty good. And now I'm just farming up my jungle, trying to keep my gold up. Keep an eye out. I have my ults back off cooldown now, so I'm kind of trying to see what's going on over here. But all my teammates are kind of scattered around the map, and all the enemies are all grouped together, so decide to just play it slow. Nothing too fancy. I see my Garen's kind of heading this way, so now I'm kind of more comfortable playing further up. A mistake that a lot of people make is if you see like a carry if you see a carry on a map, that doesn't necessarily mean they're by themselves. You kind of have to be aware of where where their teammates are also. So over here, like I know the enemy's teammates are like all right behind him, so go for as much as I can, and then I dip out. I don't keep on chasing. I tried to get the kill, but yeah, my teammates kept on chasing. Maybe I baited them a bit over there. I personally, I don't know. Maybe I baited him by going a bit too far, but I see this Soraka over here. I'm able to pick him up, and look at that burst damage. That's what I'm talking about. Once you start to pick up items on Rengar, you can completely just delete these squishies. And I know the Soraka had burned all their heals and everything earlier on my first engage, so that was pretty good. I'm waiting for my ult cooldown again. It's going to be up in a couple seconds, so heading back towards mid. Trying to see what's going on. I think that Akali spotted me out, unfortunately. So they smoke. I kind of just run while they're in their smoke, and now have my ult. I'm going to see if I can get a good pick on mid over here. If I can catch somebody out. That dragon's just spawned. I use my ult. I see the Jinx over here. Looks like my Garen's able to pick him up, and unfortunately I don't get the leap. But that's okay. We're able to pick up the Garen, and now Graves pops out. I'm able to get a good combo in and take him down. And now, oh, this Akali wants him. Like, look at that damage that you could dish out as Rengar. It's absolutely crazy. I don't even have my 3rd item yet. Like, once I get this next shop in, I decide to actually just stay for Dragon, because we're able to pick up a bunch of kills. So I'm like, I'll just take this Dragon and then reset. But once I pick up this 3rd item, that's when the damage starts to go really crazy. Like, we'll see how much damage I'm putting out after this. I can completely just one-burst pretty much anybody on their team. But yeah, essentially, once I get my 4th item for my last item, I'm definitely going to build GA. GA is a pretty good last item. You get attack damage, you get some armor, some sustain, plus the passive for GA is super strong. As for enchant, there's a couple different enchants you can go on Rengar. If you feel like you're playing like relatively tanky, like you're tanking a bunch of damage, Stone Plate's a pretty good one that a lot of people run. Stasis is also a solid bet. It just depends on the enemies and like how like deep you're going, kind of. So for this match, I'm kind of playing like I'm playing pretty tanky this match actually. So like I would probably actually go for Stone Plate just because I don't think Stasis would help me that much. I kind of have to back out. I wait for my abilities cooldowns before I look to go back in. Jump back onto the Jinx, and look at that damage. That is what I'm talking about. I can just completely just go in and out as much as I want, and they can't do anything about it. Because I kind of just one-burst him. As you can see, like, look, I'm 7-2-10 now. And I don't think I've had anything more than a double kill, like a basic double kill. So now I wait for my ult cooldown. I get my ult cooldown. I'm trying to chase down this Graves, but I think he knows that I'm coming for him, so he keeps on running. I try to make some progress. I see my teammates are going in pretty deep over here. See if I can get the Graves, but unfortunately, he just dashes away. And Gonna go back through the jungle. Clear out the enemy jungle. And then I can finally get my last item, or at least my last damage item, and then can start building into my boots and into my guardian angel. So gonna pick that up. Looks like my team getting caught out, unfortunately. But I'm on the way back. Gonna pick up this red buff, and then I'm probably gonna look for a pick onto somebody. That's kind of the goal with Rengar, is to pick off a carry one by one. See if you can get a good engage in, but I see they're already fighting over here, and I wasn't even over there. But it's a 4v1, so I'm like, I don't know if I can 1v4. Maybe I could have, maybe I couldn't have. I probably could have gotten a kill or so, but I really didn't want to give up my bounty. That was the biggest thing, was like, if I die there, I give up the bounty, plus I give up like the inhib. Maybe we even lose the game if I died there. Like, they had the potential to end if I would have just went in and died, but at least keep the inhib alive. We're still in the game. And now I know the Akali's kind of around here by themselves, but catch out this Jinx, actually. I just ult and leap onto him. Now I'm trying to get to a bush. I didn't realize Graves was over there, actually, but I realized the Soraka is kind of isolated too, so try and do as much as I can. I try and get out of here, but unfortunately the Graves ult is able to pick me up, plus the Akali is able to clean me up, but I was able to take 2 with me at least, so not the worst of trades. That Graves positioning actually kind of like threw me off. I did not expect him to be over there inside of that bush. That kind of goes to show like how important having vision control is, especially with a champ like Rengar. Having good vision control, because you're using those bushes so much, and having good vision, it just does so much for you. But as you can see, I pick up Stone Plate over here. My teammates, they get a good ult. That's a good stasis by Akali, actually. That blocked off the Garen ult, but they should still be able to pick that up. And now they start up the Baron, and I see they're starting up the Baron, so I actually go ahead and sell my Gargoyle, and I go ahead and buy Teleport, and I realize I can't use Teleport, and the Baron's getting kind of low. I'm like, wait a minute, the Teleport is not up. Long story short, I played the game a long time ago. It has been a while since I've like last like grinded it, so that's clearly a new change that they added into the game. Maybe not new, but a change since when the last time that I like played a lot was. But you can't unfortunately buy Teleport and teleport in like that, so they all die, give up the Baron, and now it's not looking good. I actually was looking for a pick. I kind of just threw up a leap of faith over there because I knew there was nothing. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to defend this by myself anyways. So I was thinking maybe if I could get a pick or two, maybe that could have saved us the game because I could have took the Baron buff off. But unfortunately, we go down. That was kind of such a throw, just going for that Baron over there. And the TP did not work. But I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. And I'll see y'all in the next video.